Hey guys, this is Josh F151 Tech back with another video. And in this video, I actually wanted to make a quick video and just bring you guys up to speed on the Elsys Amplimax Ultra 5G antenna that I'm going to be receiving soon. So for those of you that do know, or for those of you that don't know, I actually talked about this briefly in my last video when I talked about having to return that other waveform antenna. And I'm not going to go too much into that, but you guys can check that out in my other video on my channel. I made it like a few days ago. But I did talk briefly about actually trying out this Elsys Amplimax Ultra antenna. But in this video, I actually want to talk a little bit more about it and go a little bit more into detail about it. So this antenna is kind of different. It's kind of different. It's kind of basically like in its own league, if you will. So this is actually an antenna with a gateway slash modem built into it. So my current setup is actually like wired differently. It actually has the Chester Cheetah SDX75 gateway slash modem hooked up to a waveform 4x4 antenna, legacy antenna, which is actually the older version of waveforms antennas because they have newer ones out now. I'm not really a big fan of their newer ones, I'll just be honest with you guys right now, but that's going to be made in another video eventually. I'm going to be talking about that, but this one is basically in a league of its own. It's basically in another ballpark, if you will. And the good thing about this antenna is that it actually has power over Ethernet. So you really don't have to worry about having a bunch of wires running. You just have one cable, and you just connect that one cable, which is the Ethernet cable, and that's basically it. It's power either over Ethernet, you know, PoE, if you will. So as you guys can see here, it says Amplimax Ultra and it says Elsys right there. It says Elsys Amplimax Ultra 5G outdoor antenna, directional antenna, and then it says speed, and then it shows you 840 right there on the download. Man, that would be something if we could get that. And then it shows 64.45 for the upload. That would be really good, man. So as you can see there, it actually has an LED screen on there, and it shows you, it shows you different things on there. I'll get more into about that in a minute. And right here is the bottom of it. It says 2 physical SIM card slots plus 1 eSIM, so that's really nice. It says smart display to assist with blind search and pointing. And then if you come over here, it says what you get in the box. You get the Amplimax Ultra, the power over Ethernet adapter, the power cord for the power over Ethernet adapter. You get one Ethernet cable, 4.5 feet long, and then you get a 49.2 foot long one, so that's really good. And then you get 2 metal clamps for the poles and everything. You get 2 plastic clamps. You get one wall support, and if you come over here, you can see how it looks set up right there. So the only thing that I really wish that they would include with this antenna, and the only gripe that I really have, is that they don't actually give you a J-mount with it. They don't give you any kind of a pole with it, and this antenna is $700, guys. I mean, that, in my opinion, you know, I understand, you know, they give you quite a bit of stuff in the box. They really do. They give you the power cable for the PoE, and then they give you the 4.5 foot long Ethernet cable. They give you the 49.2, basically a 50-foot, cable, and they give you other stuff with it, but they don't actually give you like an actual mount. They don't actually give you a J mount. They don't actually give you just a mount in general. I would have liked to see at least a mount, some kind of a mount like waveform includes, and for this price point, you really have to put that in there, in my opinion. That's not really a good thing, at least to get you started, even if it's not, anything too expensive, just like a $10 or $20 mount or something like that. That really did kind of make me mad that they didn't include that, but I ended up purchasing one myself. I can actually show you guys here. As you can see, I actually bought both of these on eBay. As you can see right there, it says dish mount, but it's for anything basically. It's a J-pole, just like the one that I have with my waveform 4x4 antenna. It was only $20, but As you can also see, I also bought this used off of eBay. I actually bought it from a third-party seller, which is actually a legitimate seller. I can actually show you guys them over here. They're actually called Columbia Techcom, and they're actually an authorized reseller, if you will, because I actually asked them about that. As you can see, it does say $6.94 and free shipping on there, but I actually bought one used from them. Unfortunately, if you guys would be looking to get a used one like me, unfortunately they are out of stock of them. They actually told me that I bought the last one, but they'll probably have more in stock eventually if somebody doesn't keep one or something like that. But let me actually go a little bit more into detail and, you know, not really talk much about the J mount pole that I think should be included, but it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. But I talked briefly about this in my other video, and if I can find it here, let me see where it is, what modem is inside. So here we go. So it says the Elsys Amplimax Ultra is powered by the proven, powerful, and fast Qualcomm Snapdragon X62 chipset with real-world field test speeds capable of over 1 gigabytes. So some people might be asking me, they might be like, Josh, you know, well, you have the SDX75 chipset in your Chester Cheetah, you know, SDX75 gateway / modem, so wouldn't this bring the speeds down? Wouldn't this bring the speeds down or something like that, or the reliability down? Well, that's what we're going to test. That's what we're going to test, and I'm hoping, because I don't have so much hooked up to this, like I said, it's just power over Ethernet, I'm hoping that this will outperform that. I don't really know for sure, but I'm hoping that this will probably, hopefully, like I said, probably and hopefully, that's a lot of it. I'm hoping that it will outperform it because of not having so much hooked up to it, like not having like 4 different antenna cables hooked up to it. It's just basically direct, and the gateway / modem is actually built into it itself, so you don't have to worry about like running a bunch of wires and stuff like that. It's just a lot easier to have the gateway / modem actually built into it. So why it is a older chipset, I'm hoping that it will actually outperform the waveform 4x4 antenna that I actually currently have hooked up. So this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. What bands does the Amplimax Ultra support? And I've already checked it, and most of these bands are the ones that I get in my area, so that's not going to be a problem. And I also looked up if the SDX62 can be updated to support more bands, and it definitely can. So it's not like it's outdated. It's not like it's outdated. Amplimax is updating their stuff all the time, and I'm actually going to leave a link to the description. I'm actually going to leave a link in the description to NaterTater's channel, because he actually goes more into detail about the Amplimax Ultra and stuff like that. Sorry about saying waveform there. I get them so mixed up because I'm dealing with both antennas now. I'm dealing with waveform, and now I'm dealing with Elsys as well. So they can get a little bit confusing, just like with the SDX62, the SDX75, the SDX65, and so on and so on. But I did check, and I made sure that the bands in my area are the ones that I'm currently using with my SDX75 Chester Cheetah gateway / modem, and they are. So they're all compatible. They still have the same bands. I can still get the same bands, and not only that, like I said, I did look online, and it says that the SDX62 can get updated to support more bands in the future. So that's not really like I'm going to have a loss of bands or anything. So that's definitely a good thing. But am I gonna actually use this as my current setup? Well, like I said, that's to be seen. I'm not really entirely sure. I'm not really like 100% sure if I'm actually gonna use this as my setup, my daily setup, or not. I'm gonna compare it, and I'm gonna do speed tests and reliability tests and stuff like that, and everything like that, all that kind of good stuff. The one thing that does worry me me is that the SDX75, because when I've talked about it before on my channel, when I do speed tests, I was telling you guys that the SDX65 that I currently, or I did have, I don't actually have it anymore, but the SDX65 Chester Cheetah that I used to have, I called it the version 2, they called it the version 2 SDX65 gateway / modem. When I had that hooked up to my waveform 4x4 antenna, I saw that the speeds were not as reliable, like the speeds and the reliability and the signal and all that were not as reliable when compared to the SDX75 Chester Cheetah. So it's to be seen. It's to be seen. And you also have to remember that, like I said, this is only being powered over Ethernet. So this is not like the SDX75 or the SDX65 Chester Cheetah gateway / modems. This is actually like built in. This is actually an antenna, and it has the gateway / modem actually built into it. So that's what I think might help with the speeds and the reliability. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And that's why a lot of people have been happy with it too, because they said you don't have to run a bunch of cables, you don't have to buy like KRM 400 cables or anything like that, because all you have to worry about is plugging an Ethernet cable into it because it's PoE, and then you're good to go. So that's the thing, because the gateway / modem is actually built into it. But well, like I said, I am going to be getting this in a few days, and I'm going to get it, and I might do somewhat of an unboxing video of it or something like that. I did actually get it used, like I said, so I don't really know like if it's going to have some scratches or something on it. It did actually say in the eBay description, it actually said that it might have a minor scuff or something on it like that, but that's not really that big of a deal. And plus, I'm going to be using it up in the attic. I'm going to be testing it out up in the attic, exactly where the waveform 4x4 antenna is, and I'm just going to go from there. So it's not like it's going to be actually out in the elements or anything like that. But I will leave a link down below in the description to the NaterTater channel, because he goes more into detail about the Elsys Amplimax Ultra, and he has other antenna videos and stuff like that. But I just wanted to get a video out for you guys to let you guys know what I'm up to and what I'm going to be doing. And the last time that I actually checked, this might actually be here by tomorrow, because the last time I checked, it was moving, and it was actually in a New Jersey distribution center. So that's not really that far from me. I'm in South Jersey, so it might even be here tomorrow. So I'm not really so certain on that, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated on it. But like I said, I will definitely leave the link down below in the description to the NaterTater YouTube channel, because he has more videos about this antenna, and he goes more into detail about it and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's where we're at, and that's what I'm going to be up to. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, just wanted to get this video out there. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.